The copium is getting ridiculous. This needs to stop. It's time to stop, okay? It's time to stop. I was about to quote the entire Filthy Frank skit, but I decided against it because I don't think that type of content will really be welcomed on YouTube. Neither will this, but I believe it bears my opinion. So as you know, as many of you know who are on the left or who are liberal, you are fully aware that the President of the United States is attempting a coup by trying to invalidate the Electoral College results. I don't like the Electoral College. The Electoral College is an asinine system to elect a president under. And Trump agreed with that sentiment both when he lost it in 2020 and he agreed with it in 2012 when Obama was reelected. However, one needs to look at it in another vein. Why is he talking about January 6th, 2 days from now? Well, because that's the day Congress will certify the Electoral College results. And if a congressperson does not certify these results, then that will create a whole mess, at least in Trump's mind, and will automatically invalidate the Electoral College results, and the election was a fraud, and it'll give Trump somehow some weird magic, hocus pocus, Harry Potter shit, and he'll have a second term. No, he'll be president for life. He'll be president for life, then Don Jr. will become president, then Ivanka will become president, and then you'll have an entire Trump dynasty until the world fucking ends. At least that's what he probably thinks in his fucking delusional mind. So, here's what we have to look at. Even if you have one or two congressmen in the Republican Party challenge the Electoral College results, it literally means nothing. On January 20th, Joe Biden, whether you like it or not, whether you like him or not, which I don't, whether you voted for him or not, is going to be the 46th President of the United States. The levels of cultish gullibility within these Trumpists is truly tragic and hilarious. It's tragic because it shows where our education system has failed. Our education system does not teach people a true sense of critical thinking. For if we had these foundations of critical thought in place, we wouldn't have a President Trump. We would have, honestly, a solid conservative opposition in the United States. We probably would have a true left-wing political party that could challenge the duopoly in the United States. But we don't have that. Unfortunately, I believe that is by design, for a variety of historical reasons that I cannot really dive into in this video. The levels of hysteria surrounding Joe Biden becoming president are hilarious. Because, do you all forget that from 2009 to 2017, he was the next in line to become president if something were to happen to Barack Obama? Yet nobody in their right mind was afraid of a possible Joe Biden presidency if that situation were to happen. And yet, we fast forward to a decade later, and now we have this unwarranted, foolish level of hysteria as if Joe Biden is going to overthrow the United States government, start a radical communist coup d'etat, and go full Mao Zedong on everyone. You think Joe Biden is that? Joe Biden is a milquetoast liberal who supported the Iraq War and voted for the Patriot Act. This is not a radical libertarian leftist. This is a standard right-wing Democrat. This guy is also appointing someone who was an ally of Betsy DeVos. This is someone who has a shady record when it comes to foreign policy, meaning very interventionist foreign policy. This is a guy who sided with Republicans time and time again on crucial pieces of legislation, offered to gut Social Security, offered to do that in the 90s, basically proudly said, I am a tough-on-crime Democrat. Now, I'm aware that Joe Biden's positions have changed on this matter in terms of his past true crime rhetoric. But, frankly, Republicans should be extremely happy that Joe Biden's the president. Joe Biden is not going to do Medicare for all. Joe Biden is probably not going to do a Green New Deal. Joe Biden is going to be a standard neoliberal Democrat from the Bill Clinton era. However, he does have significant progressive pushback, so I could be wrong. I would like to be wrong. If Joe Biden passed Medicare for all, that would be wonderful. If Joe Biden sets up the stages or actually goes through with a Green New Deal, that would be great. If he sets up tuition-free college, that would be great. If he goes through and does a monthly UBI $2,000 stimulus check until the pandemic is over, that would be fantastic. But as much as I would love Joe Biden to do that, I have looked at Joe Biden enough to know that he is not that. And that Trump supporters need to start understanding something, that if leftists are extremely cynical about Joe Biden doing any semblance of change, then you have literally nothing to worry about. But my words are falling on deaf ears. I am talking to a brick wall. These people do not live in reality. The hardcore Trumpists, I should say. These people live in a reality where they think that a symbolic vote means that Trump will somehow stay in office for another 4 years, or 8 years, or until he croaks. As I'm sure many people would be happy if Donald Trump flat out destroyed the democracy that we have and replaced it with a fascist dictatorship, or just a standard right-wing authoritarian dictatorship. But again, one thing I'm extremely happy about is that, as I stated before, Trump is too incompetent to do a proper coup. He's got this kind of mob boss mentality. A mob boss ain't Hitler. A mob boss ain't Mussolini. Not to mention that those two evil pieces of shit were a lot younger than Trump is. So, despite Trump demanding that there be another recount in Georgia, despite them having, 4 recounts, and the Electoral College already be... I know in my heart of hearts that the only reason Trump is really doing this is because he knows down the road he is going to face horrible legal challenges that a federal pardon will not grant him. Now, why do I say federal pardon? Well, considering who Joe Biden was vice president under, and considering that Barack Obama didn't go after George W. Bush or any other member of his administration, if we are to go off of recent history, then Joe Biden will not go after Donald Trump despite his obvious obstructions of justice and despite his insane pardons that he's issued in the recent weeks. I could go on. Perhaps I am releasing bottled up anger. At this point, I hope that this is my last video about Donald Trump, because I'm sick of thinking about this scumbag. I'm sick of having him in the White House. I want to dedicate my time as an American citizen, as a activist, to focus on pushing Joe Biden to the left and ensuring that policies that have happened under Trump do not happen under Joe Biden. Because if they do, Joe Biden better be ready to be a one-term president. Or I should say, Kamala Harris better be ready, if she succeeds Joe Biden, to not win a term of her own. Okay, basically I'm saying she's going to be another Gerald Ford. So Gerald Ford was only president for 3 years. I should have known that. My point still stands. Joe Biden is not a leftist. He is not a Marxist. He is not a communist. Joe Biden is a neoliberal Democrat of the 1990s who has strong left-wing opposition, stronger than the two Democratic presidents that came before him. However, there is still a chance that Joe Biden could fall into the comfort of the neoliberal bubble. And that if Joe Biden were to do that, and that if he croaks and Kamala Harris succeeds him, and if she continues in the same line as her predecessor, she will be another Gerald Ford. If she does that. Who am I kidding? Like, what am I thinking? That the left is going to join together and vote, the Green Party candidate in, and then that, okay. I'm talking about way too many what ifs. I'm talking about, 2024 or longer, Okay, I'm thinking about way too many variables right now, so this just got way too rambly, way too fast. I might even edit that part out. So, basically, get off the copium and start living in reality if you're a Trump supporter. Live long and prosper and have a good day.